All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today. Nothing is into your head. I hope you don't do any damage. This is a Kiss-related podcast by the board for the board. We hope that you enjoy.
So you're keen on music? Yes!
Welcome to episode 189 of the KissFAQ Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Gill, admin on the KissFAQ message board, and I'm joined today by 69th Blizzard Ken.
Hello.
And St. Louis Kiss, Lonnie. And I see the St. Louis Cardinals have the same odds on making it to the World Series as the San Francisco Giants, which are
not good.
Very not good at all. So. Since you're wearing that hat, and I was just reading the article on the odds, there we go. So this is actually a Kiss podcast, so we won't have an Englishman talking about baseball. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's do some news. Paul Stanley with a W. I think you're in trouble, buddy.
Yeah, I think he's going to go after him. I don't think he's just going to let that go, it doesn't sound like.
For what, though? That's the whole point. I mean, it's a parody.
You know.
It is. I mean, it's like the God Facebook account. Everyone knows it's not really God, but they find it entertaining anyway. So,
whatever. He's in big trouble.
He's in capital letters.
He's gonna
Big.
knock on his door.
So, yeah. I've always found it hilarious. I mean, it's like reading The Onion, only Kiss-related. But there you go. I think Paul maybe doesn't quite realize what it is. No one is actually impersonating you, Paul. They are satirizing you, which I don't know what's worse, actually, when you come to think about it. So,
There's accounts like that for all kinds of celebrities, and it's all tongue-in-cheek.
Yep.
But Paul doesn't realize it, I guess.
You know, go hat shopping. Make yourself happy. Knock yourself out. There you go. All right. What else do we got going on? I guess the elephant in the room at the moment is, yes, there have been more vault cancellations, and it is what it is. Again, we've said it repeatedly on other episodes. Going to say it again today. If you're on the fence, or you were on the fence, and you didn't purchase a vault experience, well, duh, it's not surprising if they didn't get enough sales and were forced to cancel it as a result. And we don't know that that is actually the case. Let's make that very clear.
Right.
No one knows why these have been canceled. They have used the euphemism scheduling issues.
Personal.
Yeah. And the one in New Haven said because the Gene Simmons band show had been postponed, we're doing the same with the vault. So we do not know. We do not have any inside information. Very few people will have any accurate inside information other than those, connected with Rhino and Gene, and even then, maybe they don't have the exact information. Whatever the case, again, when we talk about things like Ross Radley's Magic Book, it's a get off the fence and get in and do it. Otherwise, don't complain if it doesn't come to fruition because you dithered and facilitated not being able to decide whether you're going to do it. That's what happened, I would think, with the vault. And that is an assumption, which I may be making an ass out of myself. I can live with that. But, again, don't wait for magic to come out before getting an order in, because unless it gets the money in to pay for all the photo licensing in order to go into print, it doesn't happen. So it's the same as the vault in that kind of circumstance. And as of this morning, anyway, Ross had posted a update of where he's at, and congratulations so far. It's doing very well. It's motoring along. It's done far exceeded what it did in 2015. So it looks very positive. So I'm excited. And I'm not just, he didn't pay me to say that. I'm actually excited about anything that he's going to correct that we took as fact previously that he now has evidence to the contrary. Right. That's why it's going to be a page turner for me. I'm interested in that sort of shit. So, all right. We're going to do some random shit today. Some topics that you guys want to talk about. So, Ken, why don't you lead us into what you want to talk about today?
Oh, you can start with me, eh?
I've just monologued for 4 minutes. I can keep going, but people might, start throwing shit at their screen.
There was a couple of posts on the board I thought were, I don't know if they're that interesting, but there were polls, and one of them, there's two of them. One of them was, would you support a Gene and Ace lineup? That's one of them. And, I thought about that, and I thought, yeah, I would support a Gene and Ace lineup. But it doesn't mean then who are the other two people as part of the lineup? Is it Tommy and Eric Singer? Or is it just some new band with Gene and Ace and two other guys that they get in there? But right now, there's like 83% say yes as a support for a Gene and Ace lineup. What do you think? Or do you care?
Lonnie?
I think it'd be an interesting version. Could you say version of Kiss?
Yeah.
I guess it's two original members. I guess you can still call it Kiss.
That's what they got now. Two original.
That's what you have now.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah.
Ace and Gene. Say Paul hangs it up, and Gene says, "I'm gonna buy you out, and we're gonna keep going and call it Kiss with him and Ace." And maybe he gets Brent Fitz from his solo band to play drums and finds someone else to play Paul Stanley. I'd support it. I think it'd be interesting. I think it would be, very intriguing to hear what that collaboration would come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you could have Gene sing a lot of songs. You could have Ace sing a lot of songs. You could have the replacement Paul Stanley sing the songs needed for a Paul Stanley to sing. I think it could be fun. I think I'd support it, and I think it'd be an interesting twist moving forward if that were to occur.
Right.
I feel obligated to, I think, probably say something that people would not expect a 1980s Kiss fan to say, and that's no. I think you could probably do Kiss featuring Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley, and whoever the other two are, whether it's, Tommy and Eric or Brent and Buckethead or whatever, it wouldn't matter a damn, as long as it makes it clear that it is featuring not Paul Stanley, to be honest, because he's...
Hold it.
What?
What was that? Anyway, hold it. Because
It's called North City.
Oh man. So featuring Gene and Ace. So why didn't they do that when Tommy and Eric? KISS. Kiss is Simmons and Stanley. So but people are coming to the show thinking that all the originals. A lot of times they think the originals. It's all the four originals.
Sure.
Yeah, for the first.
I know
few years,
they do.
Yeah, for the first few years,
definitely.
and still to this day, it is absolutely the case. Where you go to a Kiss concert, I've heard it up till last year, my last show in Reno. People, Ace was great tonight.
Why didn't Peter sing Beth?
It
I've heard
does
stuff
happen.
like that.
However, Kiss themselves have never done anything to kind of deliberately pull the wool over people's eyes. They have always shouted out Tommy Thayer on stage, going back to 2003. Okay. They said Tommy on stage. They never tried to hide it. They just figured that no one was actually paying attention to any of the names anyway. They saw the spaceman up there and, hey, Tommy, like something on the East Coast. So I think they didn't try and hide it. They just started starting referring to Star Childs and whatnot a little bit more, especially in merchandising. The heads got bigger on the bobbleheads for Ace. So
wow.
Again, this is not an anti-Tommy or anti-Eric, because I respect and I really like both those guys, especially Eric. I mean, Eric's fantastic as a person. He's hilarious. He's extremely talented. His body of work speaks for itself. But Peter Criss and Ace did sell their partnerships in the business of Kiss. Therefore, they had nothing to ultimately bitch and moan about. And Gene and Paul certainly weren't going to draw any more attention to it than they absolutely had to. So getting back to what we're actually talking about, rather than rehashing the last 15, we're relitigating what has been over-litigated. when I talk about Kiss featuring Gene and Ace, I assume that Paul, were he to decide to wear a bathrobe or his painter's overalls on a full-time basis, would not sell out his partnership, that he would still expect the checks to be coming in because it is his band. He has been an equal partner for the full 40x years. And just because, were it to be Ace, I'm sure would be coming in on a very good salary. He would not be back in as this 25% member or whatever. I doubt they would cut him any percentage. They might throw him a bone and, say, here's 15% worth, just because. I doubt it. I think they would just give him an extremely good salary. And therefore make it clear in the billing that it is a Kiss without Paul and without makeup as well, because at that point it just would become stupid. If they wanted to have a guest vocalist, look at the Kulick brothers. Bruce and Bob, you've got Todd, fantastic freaking singer, doing something like that. If they were, going to go out there, I would say keep Eric and Tommy. If Tommy wanted to do it, fine. If he wanted to play second fiddle to Ace, then why not? Eric has no reason to be replaced by Brent. Just no reason whatsoever. So that's why I'm kind of saying, just to differentiate it from Kiss in capital flashing lights, Kiss featuring, is maybe I'm trying to be too smart and politically correct. Maybe I'm trying to straddle that two sides of the highway. I'm going to end up getting hit by traffic in both directions. That's just the way it goes. But that's kind of how I think it would be acceptable for me.
I get it. I understand your perspective. But when Ace Frehley left the band, and there are a lot of hardcore Ace Frehley fans out there, obviously, if you read the message board, but they didn't say Kiss not featuring Ace Frehley.
No, they still had him in the advertising. In some markets, they,
Sure.
Vinny did show up very rapidly. By I think about January the 13th, there-ish, he was on the ads. Already had the, whatever you want to call him these days, Warrior, on it. So it's not like they were hiding it, but he was gone, and maybe they weren't sure if he was gone at that point. So why would they?
It's fair.
Maybe there was hope. I mean, didn't they initially say that he was going to?
They originally said that Ace is coming back. Maybe they were holding out hope that maybe this is just a temporary thing and we can persuade him to come back.
Like he was going to be a Glenn Tipton. Glenn on this current Firepower tour has been replaced, but he's managed to show up in a couple of places now. Admittedly, health issues like that are a whole different ball of wax than what was going on in 1982 with Ace and the band. But still, someone who had an issue to not be able to perform was showing up, and maybe they had hoped that Ace will join us on stage, and at this one show he'll be there, and then Vinny will be sitting off the, knitting something or writing us some more songs. Vinny, you're on writing duty tonight. You're not
writing duty tonight, not playing duties.
Yeah. Just write us some songs.
Write us some songs and we'll play them.
and maybe you could play tomorrow night when Ace is drunk.
Keep your costume clean. You might need it tomorrow night.
So, okay, where were you, Lonnie?
Where was I? How about, I just had something too. Would damn it.
You're gonna have to edit this.
I am not editing this. Everyone, Lonnie can't remember what he was going to say. So
Lonnie forgot what he was going to go with for his topic.
Okay, so I might as well jump into my topic.
Please.
And it's not really so much a topic as just a commentary, and it comes back to Gene and doing a little bit of what we just talked about, and that's the Gene Simmons solo band in Europe. What was it this past week? Doro Pesh joined the band on stage for War Machine. I probably just stole his topic.
No, but I just remembered it. I'm writing it down.
Oh, okay. So, what were you guys' thoughts on that? Doro, I loved. I mean, I had, Triumph and Agony way back when, and I can't remember the name of the album before that. But she's had strong Kiss connections going back a very long time. Obviously, Gene produced her 1990 album, self-titled solo album, and gave her a bunch of songs like Mirage, Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I think Tommy plays on it, Pat
She
Regan.
did Only You, right? She did Only You.
Unholy, yeah, and Unholy Love
Mm-hmm.
was the other one. So she looks absolutely fantastic and still has the pipes. And singing a song like War Machine, I was very impressed bringing a female vocalization into that. It just kicked ass. Really fun. And the band, I mean, was just tight as hell. Nice to give the old man a night off from singing one of the songs as well. So you guys checked out the videos? There's a lot of it.
I did. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a different twist, and why not do something like that? It was fun. It wasn't for the whole show or anything like that. It was just a different little twist, a little special treat for the people in attendance and for people watching on YouTube. I thought it was cool. I don't have any problem with it at all. I know some people thought that, well, that's stupid. Why would he do that? But I thought it was cool. Why not? Why not do something cool like that?
I would rather he does that and then pulls up some of the toneless butt monkeys
Yeah,
from the audience who,
for sure.
number one, don't look like they should be on stage, and number two, definitely don't sound like they should be on stage. Yeah, it's fun. I know that.
It's
great.
A treat for the people in the audience.
I mean,
sure.
good for you guys. I'm thrilled for you. And again, I'm not jealous because I did have the opportunity, but I decided not to. But I would much rather he does a guest spot like that.
Yeah.
If you think of what he did, was it in Sweden or Norway? I can't remember which. The drummer.
Oh.
Who came on for Christine 16 and I think Do You Love Me? That sort of thing is just so freaking fun. And you can't do that in Kiss. Or at least I don't think you should be doing that. I hate when they bring the kids up on stage during a Kiss concert. I'm like, it's fucking Kiss. Get off.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see the video, surprisingly. I mean, I saw the links to it. I saw pictures of them on stage, but I haven't yet watched the videos. But I think it's a cool thing to bring her up there and have her, sing with them. And yeah, if we can do that with other artists or friends, or if he's in a certain state or country where he knows somebody that can, join him for a song or two, that'd be great. I think that makes it more, spontaneous and enjoyable.
Yeah. The Foo Fighters did that a couple weeks ago, actually. Guns N' Roses was in the same city they were, and Slash and Axl got up with them and sang It's So Easy with the Foo Fighters a couple weeks ago.
Oh, interesting.
That's awesome. I mean, why not do something like that if you have friends or, colleagues like that in the audience? It's a treat to the fans. I think it's great that Gene did something like that.
Yeah, but the Foo Fighters are a completely different thing. I mean, they're fun.
Sure.
How much fun do you actually see Kiss having on stage? I mean, kind of dorky fun like that, kidding around. Not a whole lot. It's very much, choreographed to the paint by numbers scheme.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
And plus, you can't really be, I guess, off the cuff with pyro.
I'm with you for Kiss. I think for Gene doing it solo, I think it's great. For Kiss, no, I think it's more. You're right. It's more strategically planned out. It's more of a production, and doing something off the cuff like that doesn't necessarily work. And that's why they don't change the set list night to night, because it's too choreographed to just throw stuff into like that.
All right. So have you remembered what you wanted to talk about?
I have remembered what I want to talk about.
Good.
I think we better go there before it goes again.
Before it's gone. It's been a long week. During the farewell tour, Paul talked about staying too long at the party. People would ask him questions, well, why now? And he would say, well, I don't want to be the guy that has stayed too long at the party. Let's go out now. So my question is, in 2018, approaching 2019, and rumors of a 3-year tour coming up being called End of the Road Tour or something to that effect, has Kiss stayed too long at the party coming back after the farewell tour? And if so, when would have been the proper time to end it if you think they've stayed too long at this point?
I think the food on the table went moldy. They've stayed so long. Hindsight being 2020,
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt they've stayed too long. And we can only go back and look to when Paul's voice issues first really cropping up, 2008. And again, someone posted a great topic on the board this week, saying, did Paul's voice issues result from the Live to Win tour and having to sing a whole night set on his own and digging some stuff into that set that really stretched his vocals. I Still Love You, the stuff from his 78 album, Magic Touch, A Million to One. I mean, there's some pretty soaring stuff in there. But getting back to, did Kiss stay at the party too late? Yeah, but you don't know that you're at the party too late until it's too late. So when should they have left? Well, when we go back and look at the years that followed, I think probably 2003, because then there was 3/4 of them, of the original lineup, Peter and Tommy, obviously for the world domination. I thought they sounded great on that tour. The shows that I saw, they were excellent. They didn't look the greatest. Tommy hadn't kind of grown into his makeup yet, but for as sloppy as Ace had been in 2001, when I saw them on tour, which is a whole different thing again from when Eric was in the band in Australia and Japan and they were actually having fun again. I thought 2003 was much better. 2004 was just a shitty tour. And as much as I liked all the rare shit coming into the set, it was just like a dead audience tour. And the what is it, Rock the Nation video actually makes me sick, physically sick, because of the editing. It's the show. I mean, it should have I say it all the time. It should have a fucking warning on it. It's so
I think the symphony's worse.
Well, they're both. I mean, they're the same person. So, knowing that it was going to get bad after Live to Win, you dial it back to when it was most acceptable before then, I guess. As much as I enjoyed the shows I went to in 2007, or was it? No, it was 2006, 2008. I forget. I can't fucking remember how many times I've seen them. So, all over the place. So I'm going to say World Domination 2003. Or they should have just made the farewell the fucking farewell.
So you went to did you go to the 2004 Rock the Nation?
Who?
Show? You.
Yeah.
Julian.
Yeah, I went to Concord.
Okay, yeah, I was there too.
Yeah, all the way. All the way.
Yeah, you guys got all the way that night.
Well, that's when you met them the first time, right? The meet and greet?
Second time.
Okay. Second time? Okay.
Yeah, I did meet and greets in 2003 as well.
Oh, dude.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I think you're right. You're right that the crowd was kind of dead. But where we were, we were, I don't know, 6th row or something with my son. And it was, I mean, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was a great show.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. So as far as staying too long, maybe beyond that. I mean, if you're talking Kiss as a whole, maybe going beyond 2004 or something like that. That one post you talked about, I think is more directed I don't know if it's directed at Kiss as staying too long. I think it's more at Paul staying too long.
Right.
And if he says he's replaceable by whoever, then he may have should have bowed down and got a new guy to come in for him, or maybe just do the whole 2.0 thing that they were going to try to do anyway. But yeah, I think it would have been nice for him to go out. I think I wrote that in a post, go out on top. Unfortunately, yeah, you think you can do it forever because you've been doing it. But I think the other thing is the vocal surgery that they talked about too. Did it really help, or did it help a little bit? And then long term, is it worse that he got this vocal, whatever it is, I don't know, surgery or whatever they do? Maybe I was thinking maybe his vocals would have been possibly better now had he not ever had his vocal cords touched. But I don't know. I'm not a vocal cord doctor.
Yeah, and we also
surgeon
don't
or
know
whatever.
what Paul's issues are, and that's very
I
much
don't
not
know.
not our
Yeah.
business. We don't know whether it is vocals, it's just
Yeah.
strain, it's age, whether botched surgery, not botched surgery, surgery with side effects. You go into a doctor's office and you have something severely wrong with you. And they may tell you, well, we can do this, but this may be a possible ramification of doing so. It may not be successful, or it may kill you. You see those drugs commercials on TVs.
Yes.
Some
Yeah.
side effects may include death, nausea, vomiting. And your surgery may involve, singing like a hamster, or singing like a pit bull, gargling barbed wire. You just don't know what it's going to be. But you, I guess, when you're in a business like this, you're under an obligation to keep it going as long as you possibly can if you're not willing to step off the stage yet.
I mean, I would have been okay actually if they would have done the reunion tour and then called it quits at that point.
The reunion tour?
Yeah, after the reunion tour was over, and if they said, okay, that's it, we're going to retire and do our whatever we want now, or solo stuff, or I'm going to go paint or do whatever. I would have been okay. I mean, I like that Kiss kept going, but I think that would have been a cool way to go out on top. The biggest grossing band live show of 96, 97. It would just add to the legend. Would they done a reunion too at that point? Then I don't know.
I think without a doubt it would have eventually come to that. If you recall, there was a certain thing called a divorce that occurred to one of these band members immediately after the reunion tour, with California community property rules in play. Kind of meant, I would have thought, that you all of a sudden lose a very large chunk of your retirement fund, which I don't doubt the whole object of cashing in 1996 was the retirement fund, because they didn't know if it was going to continue, whether it was going to be a one-year reunion, a one-show reunion, or whatever. So, I kind of feel once that happened, it was kind of a no-brainer to keep going.
Because of the money flowing in. Yeah.
Well, yeah, once they saw how much money there was again.
Which they were making a lot. Yeah. Okay.
I think about it, and I think we're all in agreement that, looking back, you've stayed too long at the party, and when you do stay too long at the party, you lack self-awareness to understand that, I should have left a while ago. But I think they still sounded great in 03. I'm with you, Julian, that the show I saw in 03 with Peter on drums was really good. And Peter takes a lot of crap for that tour. People saying, no, Peter was terrible on that tour. I thought Peter sounded better on that tour than he did on the farewell tour. I thought he was in better shape. I thought he kept time better. I thought Peter's drumming was excellent on that tour. I was happy he was there. And at the same time, I liked 04. I had no issues with 04. I know I agree with the dead audience categorization, because people around me didn't know some of these songs. But I enjoyed it. I mean, for the hardcore Kiss fan like us, it was. I mean, hardcore Kiss fans still talk about Rock the Nation tour, how they mix up the set list. Mm-hmm. You're playing Unholy instead of God of Thunder from the Rafters, and they brought back Got the Shoes, they brought back Making Love, they brought back
Love Her All
God
I
Gave
Can.
Rock and Roll, Love Her All I Can.
They're
playing
World.
Sure, I mean they're playing Tears Are Falling, they're playing
Watching
all these. You never know, and you knew. If you're following the set list from night to night, you knew like which slot. Okay, here it is. Here comes our song. What's going to be our rare song tonight? And you go into it like, either you're disappointed or you're on cloud nine. I can't believe they're playing that. So I enjoyed 04 very, very much so. And then I saw Paul and Live to Win tour in 06, and I saw the Hit and Run tour in 07. I went up to Sault Ste. Marie and saw them. And that show was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I played All American Band that night. They played Hotter Than Hell, Come On and Love Me. watching you, they were incredible that night. And then when I look back at that footage, is the first sign I can see of Paul not being at the top of his game. And my brother and I thought that, well, maybe he had a cold that night. It was like the first time we had even noticed it. Because I didn't notice. People say, well, yeah, you could tell in 04. You could tell in... I couldn't tell in 04. Maybe I don't have as good an ear as somebody else does. But I look at that 04 stuff, or I listen to that 04 stuff. I still think he sounds great. And Live to Win tour, you watch that Live to Win DVD, he sounds incredible on that. Absolutely incredible on that. But 07 was the first time I had noticed it. But I didn't think anything of it. Because Paul Stanley's never sounded like that before, at least in my presence. You know, he must have, you know, they haven't played a show in a while, whatever. But then when they came back in 08 with the Alive 35, and they did those first few shows in Australia, and then they did Europe, it was apparent then that, well, something's changed, something's going on, something's not the same. So if I had to revise history and say, yeah, I'm saying, yes, they've stayed too long at the party, when should they have called it? I would say in 07, maybe when things started going south, then maybe they should have said, you know what, let's end it while we can end it in good form. Still, I mean, we came back, we did a couple tours, you know, made some money to make up for a divorce issue, and let's call it here in 07. Maybe do a farewell tour in 08. Maybe they didn't sound as good then, but we could still end it before things continued to progress going south. So that's my answer, is 08.
Yeah, I think 2006, it became noticeable. I noticed it
Really?
at a Paul show in San Francisco. I think it was Hide Your Heart. There was some straining that came. Oh, sorry, Ken.
Ken says, bullshit, that show was great.
I'm here. Just ignore that. I'm here, but I'll be back. Just keep going.
All right. So 2004, obviously, you did have, you know, a really changed up set list. I hate that tour so much just because Poison. I fucking hate Poison. There were Poison fans in that audience. The meet and greet fortunately screwed up me having to tolerate Poison. I didn't hear the show because I was backstage doing the meet and greet for most of that set. ZO2 was at ours, and
yeah, we had ZO2 as well.
So that was much better, thank God. 2006, again, 2005, they barely, I think they did 2 shows that year, and one was a corporate one. And that's kind of when those sorts of gigs start coming in. 2007, again, they're kind of the hit and run tour. I mean, that says it all. But 2006, he was still putting shit like Heaven's on Fire in the set. So, you know, he obviously didn't feel there was anything, you know, no reason to hang it up at that point in terms of his voice. At least I wouldn't think so with that being there. So, you know, maybe 2007 is a better space. But then we never would have had Sonic Boom and Monster. And I know some of you are applauding, saying, yeah, damn it, I wish we never... No, I'm happy we got those albums. But there you go. Weird. Ken?
Something interesting. Just something different to think about.
Yeah.
We do all these other what ifs.
Yeah, I mean, Kiss Conversations are one giant what if, aren't they, really? So, all right. Now let's get into... My other main topic kind of comes in as a result of a post on the FAQ this week, and it is what the hell is going on with the Kiss meet and greets. And there were people reporting in from Madrid who basically said that the meet and greet format had completely changed. They showed up at an allotted time, were told to come back hours later. There was no acoustic performance. There were no autographs. It was just a quick photo with the band, and I don't know whether that was communicated. I don't have any email communications that, you know, say what they purchased. What I did do, thanks to Andrew, was went on the Wayback Machine and looked at the old VIP packages as they were listed on Kiss Online in January. That's the last time it was archived. And in January, you could either get the just the regular meet and greet package, which was one premium reserved seat ticket or general admission ticket, personal autograph, personal photograph, and meet and greet with Kiss, exclusive VIP merchandise, laminate VIP host. Or you get the VIP tour package, which was one premium reserved seat ticket or general admission ticket, priority early entry, merchandise and tour laminate. I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, that's the new one. Now, prior to that, the meet and greet package was one premium reserved seat between rows 1 and 5. So they've gotten rid of any indication of
any kind of guarantee
that it's going to be in the top rows. Exclusive access to the pre-Kiss sound check is gone, which we talked about it last week. We talked about it before. It's probably done its course, though.
We've talked. That's probably a wise idea to get rid of it. Anyway.
I know that people who haven't done it are going to be like, oh, well, go on YouTube. There's lots of video of that. A personal photograph with Kiss, autograph session with Kiss, 2 items per person, no instruments. That's completely gone. That is a big deal to many fans who now feel that a lot of value has been taken out of the meet and greet with the band, especially at the price. And I don't recall what the prices were for the VIPs. So, and let's also say that, Kiss may not be ready to announce it. Obviously, they're just in a little bit of a, touring cycle. What was it, 5 shows, if that,
right?
In a foreign market. So they may be tinkering around with these packages simply out of necessity as they prepare for next year. There may be other reasons, and again, it's none of our business. We're just commenting on appearances. We're not making any official statement. That can only come from Kiss and KissOnline.com. So again, we're just discussing it in terms of how it appears to have changed. So you also used to get a $100 merchandise voucher. Instead, now they give you merchandise. So, exclusive Kiss VIP merchandise, which means what's not selling in the store, we're putting in VIP bags.
There's shit left over.
That's what I would say. So, the regular VIP tour package is just one P1 reserved ticket. Well, P1, what the hell does that mean?
Right.
That's what it used to be. Sorry, I got these ass backwards looking at them. So, yeah, what's new, Mr. Gill? Fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. You sound like me.
Still love it loud? So do we. Rockin' Pod returns to Nashville on Saturday, August 25th. Over 25 rock podcasts from all over North America recording on site. Vinyl and memorabilia dealers selling the best in rock merchandise. And awesome rock musicians and personalities participating in signing sessions and on-stage panel discussions throughout the day. Special guests include current and former members of Korn, Kiss, Angel, Winger, Loudness, Accept, Bang Tango, Kick Tracy, as well as producers that have worked with Slayer, Ozzy, Alice Cooper, Seven Dust, and many more. More guests being added weekly. Don't miss your chance to be part of an awesome celebration of all things rock. Rockin' Pod takes place at the legendary Nashville Palace, August 25th, 2018. More details available at rockinpod.com. That's ROCKNPOD.com. The Nashville Rockin' Pod Expo. Brought to you by Blind Tiger Record Club, School of Rock Nashville, and School of Rock Franklin, a DBG Productions event.
Okay, so let's get back to, I'm getting all these confused. So, the current just standard VIP ticket now is just one premium reserve seater ticket or one general admission ticket. That's very generic, very non-specific. The old one was one P1 reserve ticket. Okay, that makes it sound even better, but maybe it didn't. Priority early entry, exclusive Kiss VIP merchandise, and a tour laminate. That's your just bog standard VIP. Now, again, I've just mentioned the ticket, $40 voucher to be used on Kiss Online store. Okay. Which was the old way. You could at least give that away to someone. You weren't just being given merchandise. You got to choose what you got, and a commemorative tour laminate. So both of the packages appear to have changed. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Have either of you done VIPs or been interested in doing VIPs? And would you do them now, knowing what they have changed from, say, the price was the same? And the last time I did the super duper one, it was $1,250, and I had a seat in front of a wall.
A pillar, right?
No, the stage was over here, and my supposed second row seat was
that Reno?
Yeah, was all the way over here in front of the vertical curtains that were nowhere near the fucking stage, and in front of the 2 rows was a fucking pit with like 15 rows of people standing. So I could have actually gotten a pit ticket and been down having a great time, but instead I paid $1,250 for an exclusive ticket and had to kind of strain my neck over it. But enough of me.
All right, is that funny to laugh at your misfortune?
Yeah, it's hilarious. It was still a great show.
I don't know about the VIP stuff too much, but I probably will, if they do come back around here, buy the big one or whatever it is, the one with the meet and greet and all that stuff.
With no autographs.
Even without the autographs and everything like that.
Even without an autograph,
Okay.
I'll do it. Just because I want to. It may be my last time.
One last time to say thank you or goodbye or up yours.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it. It's kind of sucks that they're not gonna do the signature thing, I guess. But I have some signatures, and it's not the end of the world if I don't get another signature. So I'm gonna still purchase it, and for one last time.
Lonnie.
I did it in 04, 09, and 2010. And I haven't done one since 10. I went on the cruise in 12, and you have to meet them and make up on the cruise in 12. You don't get autographs or anything like that. But I've done the backstage, I guess, 3 times or 4 times. I think I did it twice in 09. Anyway, I think the reason why I haven't done it since 2010 is I think it kind of ran its course for me. As silly as some people may think that sounds, that okay, I've dropped a lot of cash to do this several times, and and got their autographs, got to meet them, got my picture with the band. But at the to not get, to me, I'm an autograph guy, and that's been known on the show that I'm a big autograph guy. And if I'm not going to get the autograph, that takes a lot of air out of the balloon for me. If I don't get a couple Gene and a couple Paul autographs, if I'm dropping that kind of cash, the least we could do, in my opinion, is sign a couple things for him. So for me, I'd say no, I wouldn't do it, especially with the package that Julian just read that they offered for Europe. No, I wouldn't do it. That being said, my brother and I went to a show last weekend. We saw Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson, and we were talking about Kiss a little bit in between the sets. And we were talking about how they're going to, the rumor is supposed to tour. And he's like, we got to get kick-ass seats for that one last time when they come through St. Louis. And I said, yeah, for sure. We'll get kick-ass seats up front as close as we can get. But I'm not going to bring myself to pay for the meet and greet, especially with the package that they're offering. Ken said it wouldn't derail him from doing it. I'm saying it's going to derail me from doing it. Julian, you get the final word.
I always get the final word.
Yeah, it's your show.
No, it's not my show. It's our show.
Sure.
But I'm kind of a dominating voice just from being the host.
Control freak.
He really is. He really does put the screws outside. He can.
I'm such an asshole. Okay, so I did backstage in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Did the meet and greet in 2003, 2004, and then I didn't do it again until 2017. I tried in 2014. I tried to buy one at the ticket counter for the Vegas one. I was like, fuck, I got to do this again. I started thinking that I'd really missed out on experiencing the acoustic set, so I did it. I've just bought the VIP for Def Leppard for the show in whenever it is in San Francisco, and one of the
AT&T.
things,
Where's that at?
AT&T Park.
Is it?
Giants play.
Yeah, I haven't been there for years since I stopped going to baseball games since we sucked. The Def Leppard package was $750, And what it makes clear is there are no autographs permitted during the meet and greet and photo op. It is just a photo. You will receive a autographed 8x10. You will receive a bag full of exclusive VIP merchandise. And you also get an on-stage photo op with everyone else who's doing the VIP. Well, that's just like 2004. They did that during those meet and greets, and I've still got the photo from Concord. And you get an opportunity to win side stage access for 2 songs during the set. I think that's something that Kiss should be thinking about. Kiss was an innovator with these meet and greets, and I think it may have been Mike who originally came up with some of the ideas that went around how it went together. I don't remember the details. It's going back so many years, but I think to give him credit that he played a part in that. But I think Kiss also has given tremendous value to theirs, to people paying for access by doing the acoustic sets, by doing the signings. By 2004, they gave you pre-autographed tour books, and same with 2003, both of those years. So you got, really some good premium items. You had autograph opportunities. You had a great photo op. 2003, they did 2 photos. So, I've still got both of those. So maybe it got to the part with Kiss fans that give Kiss fans enough time and they will take advantage of a situation and abuse the living shit out of it. The number of people I've seen coming in with backpacks stuffed full of their fucking Kiss shit is disrespectful to everyone else who's doing the VIP and to the band, that they just go around in circles hovering like fucking autograph vultures at the airport. And how much shit do you actually need to get signed? I know you're an autograph guy, Lonnie. That's perfectly fine. But you don't strike me as the sort of personality who will try and monopolize their time and disrespect. Jonathan and I, when we went to the Gene Vault, we knew the rules. 2 items. And we both talked and said, hey, what are the things we both got to get signed? Let's make sure we get those signed. If there's any extra time or opportunity, we'll get anything else from our stack. So we decided before we ever went through those doors that we were not going to be disrespectful douchebags with a ton of crap to get signed. Now, I've just called some people douchebags. I don't actually mean that. I just mean you do get away with exactly what you want to or can. That's just the way it goes. It's fair. However, the band takes a look at it and saying, this is fucking everything up. Timelines, people are being what I just said, and it's not fair to everyone.
No, I mean, you bring what they tell you to, and, for me, I'd bring one extra thing if time allowed. If same thing you did, Julian, okay, they say 2 things or whatever. Okay, I got these 2 things, but if something happens and I can get this extra thing signed, great. You don't walk in with your whole stack of vinyl from the 70s. I got to get this all signed, which I saw people doing at the Vault. And I think that's why the rules changed into those experiences.
At the Vault, I got 5 things signed. But
Ken, you're to blame for this.
No. Well,
you were third. You were third in line, and you'd already messed up.
Look what you did. Third in line, and you ruined it for everybody else.
Technically, I had 2, and then another 2 for my guest, right? If you think of it that way. And then I had 1 extra because they had that at the front desk when you walked in. You can grab that 8x10 picture, which I already grabbed one off of the little table that was pre-signed by Gene. So I have 2 of those now signed. I gave him the one I took off the desk. I said, "Can you sign that too?"
How much stuff do you need, Ken?
So just 5. Whatever.
And you just admitted you were taking stuff off the desk. Were you taking anything off the walls?
They had the sign-in desk at the Vault, the first Vault. It had stack like this of those 8x10s of Gene's. That one.
Yeah, I remember. I have one. Or I had one.
There you go. So 5. I didn't go crazy or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I went to the meet and greet in Edmonton, I only took 2 items to get signed.
No, that's somebody else.
So it makes sense, that these events are taking way too long. I mean, I think it was like a good couple of hours at least for the meet and greet in Reno. Plus, there's all the technical shit of setting up that acoustic stuff, which from one place to the next, it costs money. It's coming off your bottom line, It's additional staff who need to know how to tune a guitar. So I totally get why that part's gone. It's also how everyone probably remembers a certain YouTube video from one of these meet and greets, the acoustic set where Paul's either talking or singing and Gene saying, "Save your voice." Well, Gene may well have said, we're not doing any more of these, or Paul maybe said, "I can't do any more of these." Send Tommy and Eric out. But I think they're rethinking the whole meet and greet strategy. It's the industry standards have really come into play, and again, Def Leppard is one of the big bands, so I think they're worth at least using as a direct comparison rather than I don't know, Guns N' Roses. Did they offer them, Lonnie?
No.
Axl doesn't want to fucking meet anyone.
He's not going to do that. No freaking way.
Sorry, he'll be here shortly. But it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, let's just be thankful the show start on time. Now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Much less let's get him there even earlier for meet and greets. Come on.
Good
Who are
luck
you
with that.
kidding?
Good luck.
Yeah, and then there are bands that they don't guarantee which members.
Well, like Motley, when they did them, like Tommy Lee wouldn't do them.
I mean, they'd fucking wheel Mick in on a trolley.
But Tommy can't be bothered to come out.
So, there you go. I mean, it's more an interesting point for people out there who, the Kiss Cruise is the ultimate meet and greet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that's what you want.
But now you're not getting a photo either.
That's true. So.
Or autographs.
No.
So do they walk around the boat?
But if it keeps selling out, why do you have to do that? Why do we have to sweeten the pot if the Kiss Cruise keeps selling out? Why do we, you know what I mean? It'll stop.
Calling
It'll
right
stop. There it goes. It's done. Phone's recording. But why do they have to keep, if the Kiss Cruise is selling out, why do we have to sweeten the pot? If we can get away with not doing it and still sell out, well, then let's just do it. And let's be honest, they're not getting any younger. Gene's approaching 70 years old. To stand there in those boots, to take those pictures in those boots and stand still. Everybody talks about, it's a lot harder on your legs sometimes just to stand in one spot than it is to move around. And to stand still in those boots for however long, to take those pictures and do that before you even get up on stage and then play for an hour and a half or 2 hours or however long you're playing, that takes a toll on your body, especially when you're older. So I understand why they're not doing it. And I think that's a big reason why they didn't wear their boots on those pictures on the cruise last year. People were complaining that they weren't wearing their boots for their meet and greet pictures. I think it's hard on them. It's not easy to stand there in your tennis shoes, much less stand there in platform boots.
Okay, but this is Kiss. Are you saying that Kiss can't afford comfortable boots at this stage of this career?
Maybe they need to get some inserts in
Nike
there.
making them or something.
Yeah,
right.
Put Dr. Scholl's.
Put some Dr. Scholl's in there and it'll be fine.
Loafers.
But here, when Gene came to St. Louis, he didn't wear cowboy boots. He had on like Reebok sneakers on. And I've never seen Gene in Reebok sneakers before. It probably hurts his feet to stand up in boots all day. These are more comfortable. I'm going to wear these. How many old people? I mean, I'm not saying this is old, but I mean, how many older people do you see walking around? They have nice pants on, but they have tennis shoes on because their feet hurt. Gene's feet probably hurt.
Yeah.
Then he should really, go all in and wear demon slippers.
He walks around everywhere in his boots, those cowboy boots.
He had tennis shoes
snakeskin
on.
stuff.
It was like threw me for a loop. He had like Reebok
places.
pumps on from 1989.
I mean, his were totally vintage as well. I mean,
They were like from Hot in the Shade tour.
And then you see Paul.
We found them in the.
Found him in the Kiss warehouse.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're not. You're not putting these up
With
on
the
auction.
socks.
I'm going to wear those.
These are still good.
Socks are right next to
The
them.
socks you can have.
Right. Oh no, these are still good. We're not getting rid of these.
Use them.
What was I going to say? Yeah. So, all right. So, we mentioned it last week as well, I believe. That the meet and greets, if they get rid of all these, extra fluff parts, maybe they do have time to do for Gene to do a couple of vault deliveries, and Paul has time to do some art deliveries, during the tour. So whatever,
What is, Tommy or Eric gonna deliver?
whatever they want. They can
Coffee.
Eric Singer watch. The Eric Singer watch. The Eric Singer special edition watch.
That's a good point. I mean,
Tommy can sell guitars.
Sure. And you know what? They're probably not going to play back-to-back shows on back-to-back nights. They very rarely do anymore anyway. So they could do, Paul could do an art show while he's in town, or Gene could do some kind of a vault special deal or whatever. So, and then not do the meet and greets. If you want to meet Gene or you want to meet Paul, well, this is the avenue that you have to do it.
Yeah, I think my whole concern with this now is that it's all about add-ons. So something like the Kiss Cruise, what you're actually paying for is just to get on the boat, and you get the 3 shows. Everything else seems to be an add-on. If it's the bass presentations, the acoustic sets, you got to buy something else in order to get a lot of those other experience. So,
Gene says we don't work for free.
No, and I'm not expecting them to, but it seems that by the end of the day, when they're done, I think they will have monetized just every atom in their show experience, whether it's, selling the used pyro canisters, already selling the so-called microphones, stage plate instruments,
right. Drum heads.
Do they sell the set list? Because that'd be a great one. If you
that would be a good one.
A set list with Gene's blood drool on it. I mean, that'd be.
It should.
Therefore, I've just fucked it up for everyone. There you go, $800, and you can have the a set list from the show. But
someone will buy it.
Yeah, someone will, because it's one of those very cool things. I mean, the guy who got the Cutting Room Peter Criss set list freaking hated him. I was gonna stab him with a drumstick.
Wow.
No. Jealous. Completely jealous. But there you go. All right, who's got another topic?
I don't know. I think the only other thing I had was just that other poll. The other poll, which was, and it doesn't matter, actually, because it's...
We banned everyone?
It's kind of, we already talked about it anyway, having to do with time for a new star child kind of thing.
Oh.
That poll, and we kind of went over it anyway. Though most of the people, 74% of the people on the board say yes to a new star's child, whoever that would be.
Well,
and I think I did state on one of, I don't know if it was that one or one, but I stated that if they replace, and some people want a known singer from some band or who knows where out there, I would want an unknown. If you're going to really do, if they were going to do it, I'd want a unknown person to kind of make it more mysterious, I guess. I mean, these days, though, you can find out anything about anybody, but I'd rather have an unknown. Therefore, you have to dig up and learn about this guy and try to get to know the background of that person, versus some guy that we've seen already or we know has been in another band. I don't like that, going that route. That's just me.
No, they could get Jim Gillette. Nitro, remember him?
Yeah, I remember.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, would it work then, talking about vocalists, for them to do something like Axl DC? Okay, Axl
we were talking about that?
Yeah,
we talked about that last night.
Axl Rose comes into AC/DC to replace Brian Johnson, who goes out because of a medical issue. Like he couldn't hear, which is kind of important.
Yeah.
And you bring in someone who isn't an unknown. You go the completely opposite route, and you get someone who is very much known.
Major star.
Major star power coming in.
And what was the immediate effect of Axl coming in? Well, they started digging out some fucking hardcore deep songs from that catalog, and I was not happy. I was like, this freaking sucks. It's wrong. Put it to bed. Retire gracefully. And then I listened to a few shows. I'm like, holy shit, Axl's actually doing a very good job. He sings closer to the Bon Scott kind of side of the vocals. And the songs that he's bringing into the set and having them do are reinvigorating what had become a rather stale band, even with their, Rock or Bust album, which they were supporting at the time. So is there anyone that you can think of off the top of your head of a similar sort of stature to that Axl has that could come in to Kiss to cover for the Star Child? And if anyone says anyone from Nickelback, that's it.
They're off the show. I have an idea, and it's not the star power of Axl Rose.
Ted Nugent?
But it's not Ted Nugent. And it's someone who was disappointed he didn't get a tryout for AC/DC. And that's Sebastian Bach. I think Sebastian can really sing. And I think I'm not saying Sebastian should replace Paul Stanley. I'm not saying that. But I think it'd be interesting to see what Sebastian could do with some Kiss songs. There's a version of Skid Row doing Come On and Love Me, and it's awesome with Sebastian on lead. If Kiss, I mean, again, we're living in a hypothetical world, and that's what Kiss fans do when they talk about Kiss. They talk about what ifs and hypotheticals. If they were going to go down that road and say, you know what, let's just keep going, and we're going to replace the singer like AC/DC did with Axl. I think Sebastian would be a very intriguing choice. Now, like Julian, I was not on, as much as I love Axl, I was not on board with Axl singing with AC/DC, but once I heard it, I'm like, this is freaking amazing. I love it. I wish they'd put out a live album from that tour or do a new album with Axl singing. I think it'd be fantastic. I'm all for it at this point. But I think it'd be interesting. I'm not saying it would be great. I'm not saying Kiss could just keep going with Sebastian Bach on lead vocals, but I think he'd be an interesting choice, and he'd have enough star power and enough recognition that the rock community at least knows who he is. Where, as Axl, like, everyone knows who he is. But I think Sebastian Bach I think he could pull it off. I think it'd be fun.
But he doesn't play rhythm guitar, does he? Who's going to play rhythm guitar?
Paul can still play rhythm guitar. How about that?
And just let Sebastian take over the vocals.
How about that?
There's going to be a cat fight on stage with that microphone.
So we got a 5-piece Kiss.
5-man Kiss.
5-man theatrical band.
I don't know if I can think of somebody that. That's why I keep thinking unknown. I don't know. I can't see a known person.
It's easier to say pick an unknown because then you don't have to name them because they're unknown.
Right.
That's right.
That's a total concept.
There's a diamond in the rough out there. I swear that they could find
Journey did.
Live up to the vocals. Journey, yeah. We'll do a search on YouTube and may find someone from Argentina or wherever that sings Kiss songs that sound pretty good. He sounds pretty good. But I don't know. It's hard for me to pick somebody.
All right, then I will pick someone. If I was Chip Magoo, I would have Mark Slaughter on speed dial.
You'd have who on speed dial?
Mark Slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he's kind of a member of the extended family. He looks the part. No blonde lead singers allowed. I'm not a fan of Skid Row. I never have been. There are a few songs that I do really like. I'm not saying that Sebastian cannot sing. He's a fantastic singer. He's a screamer. Joe Elliott School. Kevin DeBrow, whatever you want to. That kind of singer. I would just rather have someone who's got a little bit more connection with Kiss coming in that kind of be a bud and help us out, frontman kind of thing. And it would be the ultimate middle finger to the person who refuses to name Mark, to give him any credit or due whatsoever.
Boy, would that eat him up on the inside.
I'm joking about that being the reason. I just do prefer Mark as a singer and his kind of range. And I know that's going to not be very pleasing to some people, but, he's sung Kiss songs before on stage. So, only the one, I think. So, all right. What do you think about all these things we've talked about? Do you think maybe we should have more beer while we do these episodes?
Probably.
I don't have anything to... it would have also been nice if our fourth had been with us today. We are thinking of you. It's a challenging time and it's bullshit. But soldier on. So, thank you for listening. Chime in wherever you listen to this, on YouTube, on Facebook, or on the new and improved KissFAQ message board, which I still can't get rid of that goddamn blue border. I'm just going to have to live with it.
I know it's new, but I don't know. Yeah,
not improved.
Just it's
having to ban so many people at the moment. It's like you can't turn around without some troll. Just ban. It's like whack-a-mole. Whack. They keep coming back. They keep
popping up. Yeah.
Technology. Criticize it all
great.
You want. There's no way around it other than shutting the message board off. And I'm going to continue providing a forum for people to discuss things. If they can play nice, then they'll stay. If they don't play nice and start insulting people and other shows and other websites and Gene and Paul nastily, then you'll get shown the door. But if you're able to abide by the rules, come on over and join the discussion. Just don't assume that you know what's going on. All right, so for now, from Lonnie, from Ken, and myself, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Priceless, Ken. That's priceless. Mark, for you. Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.